Hello everyone, welcome to today's current affairs session of Civilpedia. The topics we are going to see is Secure Himalaya Project, Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme, Atal Pension Yojana and MSME challenges. Secure Himalaya Project. It is recently Jammu Kashmir government has initiated a panel to have enhanced this Secure Himalaya Project. So first and foremost thing we have to know about the Secure Himalaya Project is it is an initiative that has been joined initiative conducted by UNDP as well as Environment Ministry. So, and it is a part of Global Wildlife Program that has been funded by Global Environment Facility and led by World Bank. This project is a 6 years project that has been main objective to conserve the Himalayan ecosystem. This Himalayan ecosystem will cover the 4 states. What are the states that has been landscapes that has been covered under these states are, first one is Changdang of Jammu Kashmir, then Lahul Kinnor of Himachal Pradesh, then Gangotri, Govind and Dharma Bayans Valley in Pithogarh of Uttarakhand and Kanchenjunga and Teesta Valley of Sikkim. These 4 unique landscape has been protected under this Himalayan ecosystem. And this major one of the important components with respect to this Secure Himalaya project is to protect snow leopard, which has the IUCN status of vulnerable, as well as to protect other endangered species. And along with it, the main objective of this Secure Himalaya is to secure the livelihood of the people who are dependent on this wildlife habitats. And second topic is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. The Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme, why it is needed highly for India is, India is one of the country where the craze of the gold is so much high. And we have very finite resource of gold. So most of the gold things we have been importing. So it is affecting India's current account deficit. So what is the major objective of this gold bond scheme is to reduce the physical demand of gold of India. And another important thing is to turn over the people from thinking that gold as a physical asset. By investing in a gold as a secure asset, we have to convert this domestic savings into financial savings. So to bring the culture of financial savings as well as to have reduced this physical gold demand, this scheme has been launched. And the important thing we have to notice in this scheme is, in this scheme the bond is denominated in terms of the gold value only. So generally the bond will be in the Indian rupee value or in the dollar value. But this bond will be in terms of the gold value. And the tenure of this bond is 8 years maturity period. But from the first year itself, we can have the opportunity to exit from this. So it has a lock-in period of minimum 5 years. And another important thing with respect to this gold bond is, minimum we have to invest at least from 1 gram. So minimum purchasing of this gold bond is 1 gram. And the maximum limit for a person to purchase this gold bond within a physical year is 4 kilogram. As well as the Hindu undivided family can buy a maximum of 4 kg of gold from under this gold bond scheme for 1 physical year. And for any entities or any other trust, they can buy up to 20 kg of a gold under this Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. And another important thing with respect to this bond scheme is, if a person is going to buy through the online, then the value has been reduced of 50 rupees from this present value. So if a person is purchasing through this gold bond through this online means, they will get a reduction of 50 rupees in the current price value. And this gold bond can be used as a collateral in lending or in the stock exchanges, thereby making this more and more liquidity of this gold bond. And another important thing with respect to this gold bond is, it has this long-term capital gains tax benefits. So that is, it is an indexed one. That means indexed one means it is inflation adjusted long-term capital gain tax has been benefited under this gold bond scheme. And another topic is Atal Pension Yojana. When recently this India's longevity has been increasing and more people are entering as a senior citizen in India. So, and most of the people of Indian economy is based on this unorganized sector only. So many people don't have that proper social security scheme. So to have social security for this unorganized sector people, this Atal Pension Yojana has been launched. The recent news with respect to this Atal Pension Yojana is, recently this PFRDA, that is Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, which is the ultimate authority of this Atal Pension Yojana, has requested the central government to enhance this minimum guarantee pension from 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees per month, as well as to increase this upper age limit for subscription of this Atal Pension Yojana from the current 40 years to 50 years. And another important thing that this PFRDA is requesting this government to have increased this contribution, that is contributing to this Atal Pension Yojana till the age of 70. Right now till the age of 60 only they can contribute, but this PFRDA is requesting to enhance it to 70 years of age. An important thing with respect to this Yojana is, since there was increase in longevity of Indian life period as well as this cost of living is increasing, PFRDA said that with 5,000 rupees a person cannot live per month in India at this cost of living. So we need to have enhanced this to 10,000 rupees. And the difference between these two major schemes of Atal Pension Yojana as well as National Pension Scheme. Major thing is, first one is age. In Atal Pension Yojana, it covers the age from 18 years to 40 years. Right now, this PFRDA is recommending to increase it to 50 years, while NPS, that is National Pension Scheme, will cover from 18 to 65 years. And another thing with respect to this, investment time limit. The investment limit is, there was a investment limit present to this Atal Pension Yojana. That is from 42 rupees. If a person is entering into this Atal Pension Yojana at the age of 18, he or she can invest from 42 rupees to 210 rupees from per month. So if he wants to have 1000 rupees as an pension after the age of 60, means he has to invest in 42 rupees. If you want to have 5,000 rupees as a pension, then he has to invest 210 rupees. So based on this, there was so many slabs and investment was limited, while there was no any cap of upper limit in this under this National Pension Scheme. So whatever the person wanted to have contribute to this National Pension Scheme, he or she can contribute. There was no upper cap limit with respect to this NPS. And another with respect to this, both APY and NPS both have this tax benefit. While APY will have this 1.5 up to 1.5 lakh rupees, he will have a tax benefit, while this NPS will cover up to 2 lakh rupees. And another major difference between this APY and NPS is, APY is concentrating much on this unorganized sector. So if any person who has a bank account holder, as well as is not covered under any other statutory social security program, then he or she can apply under this APY. While this NPS is mainly focusing on organized sector, that is formal economy sector people they are concentrating. And another with respect to difference between these two is, APY will have no partial withdrawal. That is, after this maturity period only he started to have. That is, after 60 years only the amount will be get. Only if there is any case death of the person and the death of the spouse, then the amount will be transferred to the nominee. Until otherwise, it is no way withdrawing the amount from this contribution. While NPS, for the Tier 2 account, we can have the partial withdrawal. That means for the Tier 1 account, there will be no partial withdrawal. That is, after 65 years only, the person can get the amount what he has contributed. While Tier 2 account, that is, it is an additional account for the Tier 1 account. So under the Tier 2 account, if a person is contributing much additional amount, then that amount can be taken back within this 65 years of age. And another important topic with respect to mains is MSME sector. So recently the Pradhan Mantri, our Prime Minister, has announced a much more incentive pack for this MSME sector. So that's why it was in the news. And this MSME sector is one of the huge employment opportunity providing sector. So handling this MSME sector is very crucial for this India's growth. So first and foremost thing, that what are the challenges this MSME sector is facing right now is credit challenge. That is, there more and more credit crisis is happening for this MSME sector. So major reason behind it is the recent bankruptcy of infrastructure lending and financial services company, which is contributing about 16% of total bank lending to NBFC. And this NBFC is the backbone of credit lending to MSME. So by the bankruptcy of this ILFS, the credit lending of this to MSME is severely shortaged. And another important thing, that recent report has said that the share of MSME in this industrial credit has been reduced from 2015 from the 18.3% to 17.4% is 2018. That shows the banks, because of having more and more NPA, now they are having more and more reluctance to give lending to this MSME people. That is the reason why this MSME share in this industrial credit has been constantly decreasing from 2015 to 2018. And what are the things that recently this Prime Minister has said about this incentive pack to MSME is 4 major things. First one is, he has announced that 2% of interest subvention for the MSME people who have registered under GST. So any MSME company who has registered under GST, then the company will get 2% interest subventions. And second important thing is 24/7 credit availability for this MSME people. So if a MSME company has a trade receivable online discounting schemes, that is TRED scheme, if they have covered under this TREDS, that is all the transaction is happening through digital mode, then that company can have 24/7 of credit availability. And third important thing is this, our Prime Minister has said that he is going to reduce, that our government is going to reduce this, simplifying this mandatory labor returns filing. Because since this MSME sector is have huge shortage of human capital, so they cannot invest more and more people for filing this labor returns. So by having the simpler mandatory labor returns, more and more resources they can concentrate on their productivity rather than handling the man-made resources. And fourth important thing with respect to this MSME is that is compulsory procurement, that is this PSU, public sector units procurement from MSME is currently 20%. So if a PSU is procuring, in that procurement about 20% has to come from MSME. This limit has been raised to 25%. And along with that, our PM has said that among that 3% has to be mandatorily get from the MSME that has been led by women. So it will lead empowerment to women as well as to strengthen this MSME. And what are the challenges that is MSME sector is facing? So first and foremost thing is the management time. So since most of the banks will have this lack of this management time, they are more prone to this giving a big shots, so big firms loan rather than having so many MSME sectors loans. They are trying to give more and more loans for a one single big shot or big firm. So first and foremost thing is this management time, making the constraint of credit getting for this MSME. Second thing is debt market. Since in India, the debt market or corporate bond market is not that much level deepened, even the large companies itself are finding very hard to get the loans or credits by raising the fund through this debt market. This MSME sector find it too hard to get the money through this debt market. So that is the second most important thing, the challenges that is MSME sector is facing. Third thing is the collateral issue. To get a loan from a bank, we need to have more and more collateral things. So this MSME sector is mostly based on this cash-based economy. So since they are in a cash-based economy, they don't have a proper billing system and they don't have any digital mode of a payment. This MSME sector cannot have a proper collateral to get a loan from this bank. So that makes this MSME sector has to rely on this informal sector lending. That makes a much more burden on this in MSME sector. And fourth important thing is the demonetization has a huge hit on this MSME sector. And this Chinese import is giving a much more competitive level to this, or much more hindering this growth of this MSME sector, because this Chinese products are much more at the cheaper level and this MSME products cannot be go at the level of this Chinese products. So it makes a tug of war between this Chinese imports and this Indian MSME sector products. And another important thing is this environmental loss, because since this MSME sector don't have a much more of a credit facility and funding capital, so they cannot have a much more of sophistication facilities in their companies to handle this environmental pollution issues. So that is the thing, they cannot get more and more of environmental products against this environmental law. And another important thing is this labor law. So we need to have more and more labor law reforms, because all over the labor laws are mostly based on this 19th century only. So during independence period, what the labor law has been framed, that only is dominating this labor law market of India. But right now, this 21st century, the economy is totally depend on dynamic labor environment. So more and more of a gig economy, that is more and more freelancing economy is right now is dominating this Indian market, and this informal sector only is dominating the Indian economic system. So this labor law is mostly concentrating on this formal economic system only. So we need to have much more simpler and more dynamic labor laws so that it will handle this gig economy, that is this freelancing economy, as well as this informal sector economy. So how much level the social security we are giving to this informal sector employees is a much more important thing that this MSME sector is facing the challenges. And another important thing this MSME sector is facing is technology obsolete. So more and more this MSME sectors cannot have more upgraded technology. due to this lack of capital as well as this upskilling and reskilling the employees of this MSME sector. They cannot invest that much amount of money in upskilling or reskilling their own employees. So this technology obsolescence make the hindering of our Indian MSMEs to compete at the global market. And another important thing is this supply chain inefficiencies, that is infrastructure lagging, makes this MSME sector to be under growth. And as well as this recent incidents of global protectionism makes this MSME sector cannot capture this global market. So if more and more countries started to protect their own economy, then this MSME sectors which already are facing the challenges of credit, technology upgradation and upskilling of their employees are facing to have this competition at this global level market. And what are the way forward things that we can make to have this MSME sector to grow at a prominent level? First and foremost thing is rainbow reforms. This rainbow reforms covers under this 5 topics. First one is how much easy access we can give this MSME sector to loan capital is the first and crucial thing, because without the capital, the MSME sector cannot invest on their own productivity. So first thing is how to get this easy access to loan capital. Second thing is how to get this easy access to market at the global market as well as the domestic market. How this MSME sector can have an easy way to capture this market. And third thing is how to have this technology upgradation. So when this technology upgradation is at a cheap level, then this MSME sector can easily upgrade to this next level. And another thing is this ease of doing business. That is the most important thing with respect to this MSME sector. So recently, this India's ease of doing business rank has been increased a lot. That shows the turnaround time of a MSME sector to get a loan is decreasing from 29 days to 26 days. Last year, turnaround time of a MSME to get a loan is 29 days, while this year it is a 26 days. That shows has a more impact on this ease of doing business of rank in India at the global level. And fifth important reform under this rainbow reform is social securities for employees. Recently, government has initiated so many social security schemes for the employees of MSME. And what are the other way forward things to enhance this MSME sector that our government has taken is Udyami portal. Recently has been launched by Udyami Mitra portal has been launched by SIDBI. SIDBI is the important apex body that is handling this MSME sector. And another thing is recently our Prime Minister has announced this random inspection of computerized inspection, so that the MSME people will not get to know which officer will going to inspect their own company. So that it will make a more transparency and accountability will be strengthened. And another thing, the catchy thing that our Prime Minister has announced in this MSME sector incentive package is 5 minutes loan. That is up to 1 lakh rupees. If an MSME sector is wanted to have a loan, then they can get it within 59 minutes in a portal by applying through online portal. So all the things of a GST and threads, everything if get into uploaded, then they will get a loan within the 59 minutes. It is one of the catchy initiative that has been initiated by our Prime Minister in the recent thing. And another thing is with respect to MSME sector is MSME Pulse report, which has been launched by the CIBIL, that is Credit Rating Agency, as well as the SIDBI. Both have jointly will release this MSME Pulse report. With that thing, we will end today's current affairs session. Thank you. Like and share this channel.